I want to give you some categories for thinking of things that you're grateful for that you might not have ordinarily thought of that have worked for me and for others, through the 35 years that I've been doing this. As many of you pointed out, it's the small things that you normally take for granted. So I live in a very, very big metropolitan area, Los Angeles, but I live in a part of Los Angeles where when I go to bed at night, I can actually hear frogs croaking in a creek across the street from me, which is just, I don't know, I love that sound. It's delicious. And I wake up to birds chirping in the morning. And there's something about that animal world that just, I just love that. It makes my heart lift. You can also use things that you've been spared from experiencing. So when my father was 17, his father committed suicide. And I am grateful that I never went through that. And my father was somehow able to overcome that and really show up for me. And I know that must have been difficult for him. Aesthetics are a really good area that you can use for things that you're grateful for. Sometimes when I look out over the ocean and the sun is setting, the sun hits the ocean and it just sparkles like 1,000 diamonds. It's staggering. It's so beautiful. The other day, about a week ago, I woke up and I looked out the window and there was a rainbow that stretched all the way from the Santa Monica Mountains all the way into the Pacific Ocean. I mean, it was just magnificent. One of you mentioned music, and I just want to reinforce that. There's really nothing else that so gets inside of us and moves us. It moves our body and it moves our heart from within. In fact, I can't resist giving you two quotes about music. One is from I think he's an Irish poet, I'm not sure, John O'Donohue. He says, music is what language would love to be if it could. And Rudolf Steiner, who even more deeply says, all art is an attempt to depict the will of God, but music is the will of God. And finally, there's the area of biology, where you need go no further than to think about the fact that somehow a tiny sperm cell penetrated the lining of an egg and set off some kind of enormously complex process that resulted in you. I mean, that's miraculous. So as you practice this tool from day to day, the tool that I'm about to teach you, try to challenge yourself not to repeat the same things every day. Come up with at least one or two new things, because that expands your mind and it expands the ways in which you will feel grateful about life and about the world that you're in. So let me teach you the Grateful Flow tool. Close your eyes and just start by recounting specific things that you're grateful for. And don't worry if it's a slight struggle to come up with new things. That's part of the tool. As you're recounting each thing that you're grateful for, see if you can gradually get the feeling that there's just much more to appreciate than you're usually aware of. Step 2, feel your heart soften and open up, just like a flower unfolding to receive the light and the warmth of the sun. And let the specific things that you're grateful for gradually fade away. In their place, sense the presence of a mysterious source that's giving you all of these things. You don't have to give it a name. You don't even have to understand what it is. You just have to feel it and be willing to receive what it's giving you. All it wants is to keep giving to you endlessly. Step 3. Feel that unknowable source of goodness draw near to you. See if you can feel its presence, like really close and intimate, almost like a soft breath on your cheek. And feel your heart melting and overflowing with thankfulness. And mark this moment in the back of your mind. This source of goodness is always with me. Even when I'm no longer aware of it, it is aware of me and giving to me boundlessly. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and tell us what that felt like.